G'day, ZiggyD here, and sometime last night, something pretty exciting happened. As per usual, you guys tend to spot these milestones before I do, and one of you guys left a comment on one of my videos saying that, congratulations, I hit 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, you guys tend to notice these things before I do, and I jumped over, and I missed the tick over. Too bad. I got over when I got to see the page when I was 10,002 subscribers, unfortunately. But that's awesome. That's awesome. The timing for it is pretty interesting as well, actually, because it's been pretty much exactly 1 year to the day since I started doing the YouTube thing reasonably seriously. So at that time I was preparing to cover Diablo 3. I was actually playing some Diablo 2, recording sort of a very dodgy Let's Play, which you can actually still see in my channel if you care to go all the way back. Damn, missed that 6-socket there. if you care to go all the way back in that and watch those older videos, I highly don't recommend it, unless you're probably thinking of getting into YouTubing yourself and want to see what it's like, you know, going from being a, you know, how you go about like progressing and how much you can change over the course of a year in terms of how much control you have over your voice and how active your commentary and things like that can be. I was very quiet and very boring in that, but it was good practice. It was good practice, and that was the main reason I was doing it after all. But yeah, pretty much a year to the day since I started pretty seriously, and I hit that 10,000 subscriber milestone, which is pretty cool. In addition to that, it's just in time for my birthday. Yay! July 15th is actually my birthday, and it's something like July 8th or something now, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I got to do that, and I get to make a little video on that just before my birthday. So that's awesome. And on top of that, I'm also getting a brand new computer sometime around my birthday, so maybe a few days after my birthday, and it just feels like, you know, it feels like I'm really taking the next step. I'm getting that new computer, potentially starting to stream pretty soon, and hitting that 10,000 subscriber milestone. Now, you know, this is pretty huge for me. I've been working at this, you know, switching between full-time, part-time, whenever I can sort of afford to do so over this past year, and just trying to, you know, really dedicate as much of myself as I can to this, because it's something I really believe in. It's something I really want to do, and yeah, it's just really exciting to see something that build up so much that you've you know, essentially built for yourself from nothing. And I really strongly believe in that as well. I think there's one of my you know, probably most serious values in life is building something for yourself, like building something from nothing and just providing net value out of nothing, basically. And that's essentially what, you know, what I want to do. I want to continue helping people get more out of their video games. As you guys probably saw, I just launched the new website ZiggyD.tv, and on there I wrote a bit of a manifesto, putting into words this feeling that I had. Can I grab that? Can I grab it? Damn it. I'm not doing so well in the getting of the loot here while I'm concentrating on talking. But I put it into that manifesto, just into words. Well, I guess what my goals are, my policy towards this whole YouTubing thing, and my objectives in gaming. I think gaming offers so much to people. It's like been such a positive force in my life, and it's taught me so much and allowed me to explore so many things and grow as a person. And in addition, just to being really damn fun. And I'd like to, you know, continue as best I can, and in whatever way I can, no matter what, to help people get more from their video games, and to realize that you can get so much from video games, you know, especially if you really put something into them and, you know, get something out of them. It can be a really good part of a nice, healthy life. So that's pretty exciting, and it's nice to see that pay off, a nice superior fireball there. So, as I said, this time 1 year ago, I was just doing that. I actually only had 210 subscribers at that point. Don't know if I mentioned that already, but 210 subscribers back then. I was, you know, about as small as they come on the YouTubing, and yeah, I was prepping for the Diablo 3 launch, covering Diablo 2, and then I went in, Diablo 3 launched, and I did sort of a hardcore Let's Play on Diablo 3, and you know, that had very few viewers, but a few people sort of stuck around for that and enjoyed it, and said that they really enjoyed my content. And from that, I started making some Diablo 3 guides, which actually did quite well, and although I didn't have many subscribers, probably by the end of December I only had around 2,000 subscribers, which, you know, decent growth, but not a huge amount compared to the growth some people have on YouTube. But I had some people sticking around then, and I've even now, like on Facebook, people are saying, I'm not in a party with this player. as interesting. I'm having people on Facebook and things like that say, it's awesome to see you hit 10,000 subscribers. I've been following you for a year now, and I'm like, wow, you must have been there right since the early days of Diablo 3, and that's pretty awesome to have you guys around from that. So around December, continuing on with the story of the year gone by, I started playing and covering Path of Exile. Now, Diablo 3 was a pretty big game, and people, were really keen and excited for that. I don't know why I started a new instance. Actually, I need to go back to town. It's a bit silly. Oops, I think I've created the instance. Oh, well, sorry guys, you have to deal with Australian latency there. Sorry. But yeah, I started covering Path of Exile. Now, Diablo 3 was a game that a lot of people were looking forward to, and everyone thought, had a lot of potential. The game was a solid game, and still, it is continuing to improve. But comparing it and after its launch to Path of Exile, after its launch, just the potential with Path of Exile is massive. And there's just so much to learn about this game and discover and make videos on. Like, even to this day, I've been making constantly over the past 6 months, almost daily Path of Exile videos, just with some short breaks. And there's still so many things I want to make videos on for you guys, and a lot of you guys, seem to be enjoying that as well. So that's pretty awesome. But there's just so much for Path of Exile. So around that time, around December, I started making some initial videos on Path of Exile, and Path of Exile launched, and I had just had exponential subscribers. I don't know, in my head was supplier growth, subscriber growth. As more and more people flocked to Path of Exile and checked out my channel and learned a lot about the game from that, and that's just really exciting to see how that worked out in practice. And that brings us to now where where I'm at this 10,000 subscriber mark. I've just launched a new website. I've got a computer ordered. I've put down the deposit for the computer, and I'm potentially looking to start streaming pretty soon. It's all very exciting. So let's talk a little bit about the future then. What does ZiggyD want to do with all of this? I'd like to, as I kind of wrote in my manifesto, I'd really like to push this idea of helping people get more out of games. And what I really want to do is cover games in depth, games that really grab me. So that means I'm probably going to have to try a few games to find which ones grab you, because you only really know games are good after you've played them for quite a bit. So for example, now you've probably seen some of my coverage of Final Fantasy XIV so far on my channel, and I think this game has some potential. I've been playing a closed beta, and I think there seems to be a lot to learn with the game, as it's probably the case with any MMO really, but Final Fantasy XIV seems to have a lot going for it, and I don't know yet whether this will be a game like Path of Exile that I can cover for a long time to come. But if it is, I want it to be a game that I can break down, over many months in a lot of depth, so that people going to play Final Fantasy XIV can see those videos, much like I've done with Path of Exile, where people can find those videos and get more from the game. Whereas, maybe, okay, I guess this is the goal. Maybe there's a couple thousand people out there who would like to try and play a game like Final Fantasy XIV or even Path of Exile, and try the game out and have a bit of fun with it, but just kind of get hung up or stuck on a few things that they don't quite understand about the game, or they just don't quite scratch the surface and get to that extra depth in the game. Because there's a lot in Path of Exile, for example, that you only really discover once you learn the basics and start to move beyond the basics, especially when it comes to things like builds. You can only really start to see the flexibility and the depth in the builds after you've started to learn a lot of the basics, and after you're starting to get quite familiar with those. Now, if those couple thousand people, if I can help, a good percentage of those guys to get past that, whatever they're stuck on, whatever wall they're stuck on, and then discover the depth of that game, they're then going to continue to play that game for a long time to come, and get a lot more out of it as well, a lot of enjoyment, and a lot of extra value. And especially if it's a game that paid money for, like Final Fantasy XIV, they've bought this game, but then they can continue playing it and get a lot more out of it than what they would have otherwise been able to do. And maybe they meet some friends in that game as well, and make friends that they might not have otherwise have met, or nice, decent friends. Then that's super rewarding to hear from me. And I've gotten that from Path of Exile a lot so far, and that's really exciting. I plan on covering Path of Exile a lot more in the future to come, and I know that some of the guides that I already have up are going to continue to help people in the same way. And because I believe that gaming has so much to offer and is such an important medium moving into the future. If I can help people get more into that, then that's really my goal and the thing that I value. That's what I want to do as much as possible. So in a more practical sense, I want to cover games, fewer games, but more as deeply as I can. There's a lot of people out there that do tons and tons of first impressions review. They cover, all of the new game releases for the week, and that's like a super helpful service. But I don't think that's what I want to do, and I don't think I want to do Let's Plays either so much. I might do the occasional content similar to that, but that's not what I think I want to do. But instead I want to break down these games that either grab me or have the potential to grab me, and cover them in a lot of depth for people to get into, and do that with just across a few titles, over time. So I'll continue to cover Path of Exile for a long time to come, since it is one of those games that's really grabbed me. And then a new game comes out that looks like it has a lot of potential, cover that in as much depth as possible for at least a few months, until I determine that's a game I want to continue to cover and continue to play, or I determine that maybe it's a game that doesn't quite have that long-lasting appeal, but still some people will probably continue to enjoy it. And then I can combine into that streaming as well. So with the YouTube videos, I can do the more long-lasting content, the more specific guides, and with the stream I can actually, in a live setting, help people out. Like, people are struggling with a certain point in the game, I can show them how to progress through that, or I can even jump in game with them if it's a multiplayer game like Path of Exile, and help them clear that content, or show how they can go about clearing that content. And that's really exciting as well. And I can also do some nice casual gameplay and just show you guys how I enjoy games as well, because I'm certainly by no stretch of the imagination a pro gamer. I'm not a Kriparian. You guys probably have already figured that out. But what I really like to do is learn as much as I can about these games, explore and learn. That's what I get the most out of, and then to teach other people that same thing so that they can explore and learn the game themselves and learn a lot more from it. And I'm very excited in the future to do that in a live setting. So on that note, I wouldn't be able to progress to this point, where I'm getting a new computer and where I've got this new website up and massive desync. You ready for this? I just shot back halfway across the map. I wouldn't be able to progress to this point where I'm getting this new computer and setting up this website and planning to cover new games and constantly. Maybe I'd still just be making occasional videos, but I'd have to go get a job, and I wouldn't be able to look towards moving full time in the YouTube, and I wouldn't be able to look towards covering things in so much depth and dedicating so much of my time to it if it wasn't for you guys, the subscribers. I've got these 10,000 subscribers now, and I know that there's at least probably 1,000 to 3,000 of those people who very regularly watch my videos and even comment, or maybe they check in every day for my videos, or maybe they check in once a week, or just every now and then when they see a video they like. Maybe they comment, maybe they don't, maybe they just watch the videos, maybe they tell their friends about my videos. But all of you guys who have ever interacted with my channel and my content and continue to do so, and continue enjoying my stuff, I appreciate the support you've given me, because it's helped me get to this point, and it's been pretty exciting, and I'm very excited for the future. Hopefully in another year's time I'll make a video on this exact date, and maybe we'll be at 100,000 subscribers. That would be pretty awesome, and reach more people, help them get more out of their games. Anyway, I think that's about it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.